Alright guys, we're moving out for what could be our last game of the night, but it is most certainly our last best of 3. MVP Blue currently sitting pretty 1-0 up in this best of 3 series, and they only got to steal one more game here against KT2 if they want to advance and be the first team to qualify for from the IEM Singapore Asia Finals, and of course get to go to IEM Singapore and take part in potentially the lion's share of that $50,000 prize pool. So sick. Such a great set of prizes. Such a big pool, such a great tournament as well. Do love me some IEM.
Clients troll me a bit, but I do have your stream open, so hopefully no big hijinks this early.
Client should be alright. Except the portraits have all been Oh, never mind. Actually, no. I am silly. What's Lulu doing there? There we go. Lulu and Jax look similar, so I had them together. Alright.
Oh good, I'm in finally.
There we go.
Are we live?
I am at live. The game is on.
Cool.
The stream is live. We're all good. Seems like things are going quite well to kick it off.
Prince is in the mid lane, doing a bit of laughing.
He is laughing it up. So yeah, I guess to introduce these players to you guys, because you know we haven't seen KT2 at all today, in fact, and we haven't seen only some
whole
MvP
tournament
recently.
no less. Basically.
Yeah, that's true. Not a single game. So KT2 going to get a bit of camera time here, which is nice. So MVP Nofe here in the mid, playing a. Is their jungler going to be playing a Mumu here? Sunchip in the mid lane, going to be playing Ari. Me5, their support on Zyra, something we've seen a lot of this tournament. Down the bottom is going to be Mr. Ezreal, in his full strength as well, being played by Hermes. And last but not least, up in the top lane is Kung Kui, going to be playing Shen. Picking up an extra potion for himself there as well. Looks like no early jungle shenanigans happen, so over to the KT2 side. We've got Kakao here in the jungle, playing Jarvan. Score is going to be playing on Graves as the AD carry. Lulu, the support for this one, being played by Maffa. Ryu is going to be playing Diana, one of the better known players in the Korean scene, certainly one of the highest rated Korean solo queue players as well. And Ragan, or Reagan, I don't think it's Reagan, I'll go with Ragan, although Reagan would be funny there. The top laner for KT2 is going to be playing on Jax.
And probably the thing that most eagle-eyed viewers might pick up from KT2 here is a lot of members of the former StarTale team. Of course,
yes.
Lokodoko, the most prominent of the StarTale members back when they were an organization, currently moved to CLGNA, as I'm sure everyone is well aware of in the chat. We have a very savvy bunch of people here. And yes, a lot of the remnants of that team here, including, as you pointed out, KT Ryu, the mid laner, who until recently I believe was #1 on the Korean solo queue ladder, only overtaken by LJM's Lilac.
Yes, Lilac finally overtook him. The first time we saw Ryu, he was the best, and the second time we saw Lilac, he was on top. So,
second best in Korea. I mean, say what you want about solo queue ranking, but it's a nice feather in your cap.
Yes, certainly is an achievement that should be recognized and possibly feared as well. So we'll see how Ryu does here, playing for KT2. Ari, quintessential Korean champion, being played this time around. Actually was the release champion for the server, in fact. And I've seen a lot of love all over the world, but especially here in Korea. Mid King, of course, one of the most famous Aris. We're going to have Sunchip, though, piloting Ari for this one instead. Diana, a champion we've seen a bit of as well. In fact, Mid King has also played that champion in recent tournaments, but haven't seen too much recently. Not since she was, too powerful.
I say if the Korean scene has had their spotlight on any two champions, it'd have to be Ari, as you pointed out, but also Lulu. I think Lulu in the support role, just quintessential Asian pick. They've just played so much Lulu, and her effectiveness can't be denied.
No, and Maf has even got the fairly creepy candy cupcake skin.
The bittersweet Lulu.
Yeah, it's very strange. Turns him into
See,
cupcakes.
I intended to buy her when I heard about cupcakes, but that splash art is
it's a bit, yeah.
It's a bit much.
It is a bit much. But what's more fun than turning things into the internet? You make them into cats. Clearly the better.
Very true.
Looks like
Nyan Cat Lulu?
Oh, that would be amazing. And probably too much. It feels like I would have some sort of sad robot and movie style bug, and then I would never be able to play League of Legends until I got hotfixed. Anyway, Nofa here in the jungle. Gonna be rollicking around. Has double buffs and level 4. And Jarvan's actually setting up near the mid as well. We could see maybe a counter gank. No, not going to happen this time around. But Kakao really wants to make this happen. Level 4 double buffs. That exhaust as well, ready to go in. And there's a good flash there from Sunchip, but Kakao's going to get what he wants. Bit of free damage here on the way out with the charm. But not too bad. Back down the bottom. Mumu maybe setting up here, but no, actually continuing to jungle here. Nofe really not interested in aggression this time around. He actually just wants to get level 6 as soon as he possibly can and make his ganks count from there. Kind of surprised not to see any early Jarvan action in this game, but we are going to have a two-man invade here as Ryu and Kakao make their way into the blue side jungle. Ari not quite in any danger at this point. I mean, you really do have to gank Ari before she hits level 6 and gets that Spirit Rush, because it's a lot harder to gank when she's got triple blink up.
A real exercise in frustration.
Yes. Mostly just...
And not much to it. I mean, Diana does have the double dash of herself if she can hit the Crescent Strike, is it?
Yes, Crescent Strike into... Ooh, what is her ult's name? I'll be able to check it. Lunar Rush, there we go.
There we go.
That's funny,
And then
actually.
we'll say she has a shield and a pull.
Yeah. Moonfall, I think is the name of it. I actually know that for some reason. And
I feel like we should have a trivia game where you have to try and name all of Zyra's abilities.
Oh, man.
And her plant names. They're very, like... They're super bad.
Which are the Q? The Q's like rampant growth. Is that Q? Well, maybe there's a W actually. I know grasping boots is their E because we say that one a lot. Stranglethorn's their ultimate. I don't think I can remember her Q. I got.
And then the plants have special names too. It's very troll.
Deadly Bloom is the
Sure.
Q. Rampant growth is the W, and the plants themselves are. Oh goodness.
Thankfully, not too much action, so we can entertain you with a really bad quiz. Sorry, guys.
Vine Lasher for the E, and the Q is Thorn Spitter. Oh man, that is a lot of. That is a hard trivia game. And now no Faye in the mid just has a bit of a drive-by, so that's a lot of Ryu. Figure they're not in particularly any trouble.
Yeah, I have to say, nothing much happening on the gold front here, except Amumu a couple of camps ahead of Java.
And funnily enough, just to top it all off, so to complete the trivia game, Zyra's passive is called Rise of the Thorns, which is ridiculous.
It's called True Damage Thing.
It is, yeah. Planty thing. It's like Cog 1 number 2. That's what I think of it. That's what I think of. A Cathy and Surprise, which again I know the name of for some bizarre reason. just like my love for random champions that have fallen out of favor, I only know the random skill names. It's always good fun. But yeah, actually quite I mean, you know, we've been joking, been having a bit of fun here. Obviously a little bit tired, which is to be expected, but certainly still trying to bring you as much energy and enthusiasm as possible. There's plenty left, don't worry, there's plenty left, certainly on my end. But this has actually been quite a slow game, given the general pace of games we've had in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping with this exhaust Java we'd see some shenanigans, but yeah, no shenanigans.
No, it just hasn't quite made it, you know. I mean, normally when you think Jungle Java, when you think level 2 gank, but it just hasn't quite happened.
I mean, if you look at his items though, Pastry Time, he's not interested in clearing the jungle. He's going for brutalizers.
I was
His game
pretty
is gonna
excited
be
about the double swords.
pretty impressive.
If he buys 4 swords, I'll be very impressed. I ran this in it once.
And then finishes the items later.
Yes.
Cost-effective
4 swords.
AD, 4 swords.
It's the manliest build with 4 swords. Javan is very manly.
Javan is spotted by a ward. They know that he's in the top side of the jungle, so free aggression possible for the MVP bot lane.
That's true. But nothing too much going on here. Ezreal's an interesting lane. Certainly we've seen a lot of Graves do well against Ezreal's in this tournament today. But, you know, not quite the same amount of burst that Zyra Graves had that we saw before. Lulu Graves is okay. It's more about poke, and I guess Graves has the burst function. You can go in, you know, quick draw, wild growth, kind of try and set up kills that way, but it can be a little bit tricky. And Ezreal, of course. Actually, this is the poke version of this lane, I guess. We've seen the burst versions. We've seen Varus Zyra. We've seen Graves Zyra. This is,
Let's
you know,
not take away from, you know, the decent burst Ezreal has once he hits 6. You know, that ultimate. Very high base damage and nice AD scaling. But you're right, it's not quite the burst combo we expect from a Graves or a Varus.
No, but this is the kind of initial Zyra support lane we started seeing when Zyra support was, you know, a thing that people started doing. It was this very poke-oriented, long-range plants, throwing the long-range stun, the CC, you know, very hard to pin down, very safe, very sturdy bottom lane. The only real problem is if Zyra gets caught, but, you know, if the Zyra plays smart, she's got that CC, she's usually going to be okay, but we are going to have a very nice gank here from Kakao. He is 6 as well, so power farm to 6 of both these junglers. In fact, and Amumu's down here as well. I think we are going to see fireworks. There it comes. Amumu actually level 7 right now. And there's a whimsy away for Graves. A lot of utility.
Shen considered his options about teleporting, but not required.
No, not this time around. I think Jack's trying to keep the pressure on as well. Wants to know. Could potentially cancel Shen's ultimate, but it would take quite a timely counter-strike. But Jax does have that option available to him. Not many top laners have a reliable stun to cancel Shen's ult with. That's not something we often see. But certainly Jax does have that available to him. Jax has got such a strange kit to me. Like, it does all work, but it's just very, very unique. Jax is very unique. And
No, he doesn't have quite the streamlined scaling he once did, where it was obvious that you built AD and AP and you BK. With the change in passive, he has become a bit more of the generic bruiser, but he keeps that unique flavor. I mean, his E, again, it's quite a strange item. It has a cast time, it has a tell, it requires a gap closer, but it's his ability and it's cool. And I think he definitely has a place. It's a bit sad that it's become Trinity Force tanky kind of builds. Like, it was fun when pretty much any offensive item of any description you were like licked your chops at what Jax can make use of it. But yeah, he's still a cool champ.
He is. He is still the champ as well, which is great.
And look, he's spamming his imagine if I had a real weapon up for top. What's not to love?
He's a good guy. It looks like Fade is on the way. Actually completed now for Ruggen.
And Shen is going for Shen's item.
Sunfire Cape. Yeah, Giant Spell. The Funfire Cape. I mean, Smithy, do you maybe want to explain a little bit why we just expect Sunfire Cape when we see Shen? What is it about the item that makes it so good?
It's the passive. It's the like Shen is all about camping in a lane, whether it's top or bot or mid, is all dependent on what stage of the game we're at. But he wants to sit in a lane, preferably top or bot, have the rest of the team move to the polar opposite, so the geographically furthest away lane, and he just wants to split push, because with that global ultimate, he can always show up at team fights. So Sunfire Cape, a good defensive item, gives him a good chunk of health, which is good when you have a shield. It gives him armor, and it allows him to push the lane better. So it's always a strange sight when we don't see Sunfire Cape on Shen. But hey, I mean, he's picked up the Phage here, and I don't know if that's for trading or whether he's actually considering Mallet, which makes him very sticky, but not quite the same level of split push.
No, and yeah, it is really that split push element that kind of puts it over the top for Shen in terms of items. I mean, yeah, the rest of the stats are nice. Actually, here's a Stand United. No fear, we're looking for a bandage. Is he going to find Ryu? Maybe. Oh, I swear he's going to just fly one over the wall, but not going to be the case. Instead, they are going to secure Baron for themselves, Dragon even for themselves. MVP Blue, first Dragon of the game. And for the first time in quite a while, we get first Dragon before first Blood. Or first Tower for that matter.
How much damage will Jax get in reaction? Probably a good chunk of the turret. As you can hear from that satisfying thwomp, his passive does stack on turrets. So he is very good at pushing turrets.
Such a great sound. And using the auto attack resets as well.
It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. You might get it. And that was the thing. That was commonly the trade we saw when we saw these early dragons, and it was a fairly stalemate style game with, you know, not many kills or even no kills. We often saw Dragon getting traded for top tower because the first team to move down their top laner would secure Dragon, but they'd use it. It would be at the cost of the tower. And Jax did a pretty good job there. He's only got 430 health left. But not quite there yet, and that's a big difference, you know. Taking the tower and almost taking the tower, especially these outer turrets, is a pretty big gap, pretty wide margin. So Shen's going to get a little bit more room up here in the top to kick it off. And very interesting camping grounds here for Ryu and Kakao. They're just chilling. They really want this blue buff when it spawns again. And there we are, they're going to get it, I think. It has respawned. They're looking to see if anybody's about.
They had a very accurate timer, apparently.
Yeah. Waiting to see if anyone would come to get it.
They have vision on Ahri. She did step past that ward, and there was a red ping there, so they are aware of what's happening. And we could see some sort of gank up top.
This is a good time for a gank. The tower's pretty low. Seems like there's no real vision here. Oh, no, Shen knows. Jarvan knows to dig up, but there's Cataclysm. He's got to let it down. There we go. No, they don't follow. No
it almost feels like he didn't have his EQ up. That was the main issue there. He used it to escape the ward, but then it just became so apparent that, hey, there's no mid laner. Where is everyone? And just good situational awareness from Shen there.
Yeah. And Ken Kui's going to, you know, continue farming up here in the top. Pretty happy. Just plucking away at these minions with the Vulcan Blade and Key Strike. In the mid now looks like Amumu's setting up for some sort of gank.
Really nothing to report. I mean, a couple of 10 CS differences, which at this point aren't a big deal. The jungler, I mean, Amumu's definitely set for gold here. It's kind of on Jarvan to take advantage of his brutalizer. He's built early game stats here, but hasn't been getting the ganks off, which is unfortunate. Whereas Amumu, set for gold income here. He's at the moment 800 gold up, and you have to think that's only going to grow.
He's got oracles now as well. He's really just been power farming the jungle, trying to get that 6, but hasn't quite been able to make an impact with it yet. That's funny, actually walked up to the Wraith camp and realized the blue one wasn't there and just left immediately. He's like, I'm not interested if the blue Wraith isn't there. Good times. But yeah, no fee. He's definitely set up. He can clear out a lot of these wards. probably start applying some pressure to these lanes, and I think we'll probably see first blood soon, but 15 minutes have passed now. We still haven't had first blood.
It's not the speed we're used to as a base.
No, not at all, and I think part of it is just that, you know, there's so much on the line for this match. Especially for KT2, you know, if they lose, they're done. So they're, I think, really treading carefully here, treading lightly, but...
Maybe that's just a sign of the conservatism of playing for such high stakes, you know?
Yeah, there is that too. Ragan now doing a lot of damage here actually to Shen. Tenkuye, he's going to have to flash out there. So Jack's, you know, pretty comfortable. He is, you know, a master duelist after all. Pretty comfortable one-to-one Shen. He's probably going to get this tower in fairly short order, which is good news for KT2. Jarvan is taking his rest, has double buff still up on top as well. And now a Ruby Crystal Fort, we can only imagine it's probably a Phage. As Diana wards near mid there as well. Abyssal Scepter Rush actually out for Diana, what do you think of that?
I think that, I mean, DFG Abyssal was always her core. I mean, she's all about close range damage. Those Crescent Strikes, I think they extend to 625 range. You know, maybe an awkward max range Crescent Strike doesn't benefit Abyssal, but after the Abyssal nerf, it's only really the champions that make the most efficient use of the items using it, and Diana's definitely one of them. She's melee, you know, she wants to get in close. What's wrong with picking up that Abyssal, getting a bit more magic damage, maybe even straight into true damage for those low magic resist targets, and trying to be the bursty assassin that we know she can be.
Her ult, by the way, I believe is exactly 600 range, so yeah, really nice synergy there. And does look down the bottom for a gank, but it's warded, so not going to find it there, unfortunately. Amumi, though, clearing out all the wards with his oracles. Maybe going to find something here. I think he has been pinged. He has, in fact. So they saw him come through as he took out that first ward. He's going to take out one more down here as well. So KT2, they're probably not going to die here, but Amumi was slowly denying vision across this map. And you have to think that he's probably going to be the one to set something up here. But a decent amount of pushing here from KT is coming out.
Jarvan picking up a late Heart of Gold. Maybe that's his emergency measure to maintain some relevancy in this game if he doesn't start getting those ganks off.
Well, I think he recognized, you know, this game's kind of going slow. I can't really afford an Oracles to force a whole lot. You know, he's going to try for another sneaky Yankee, but he used his combo in order to do it. And there's just flashes up for all the bottom lane here. Yeah, there we are. There's one. Good to get a flash. There's the Zara ult, though. So some nice cooldowns used there by MVP, but KT happy to draw them out. But, I mean, Jarvan just right now, he can't really force anything. Really, if you want to do that, you've got to be super aggressive. Ragan actually in a little bit of trouble. We'll take out the turret here, but Amumi's wrapped around. I think we're going to finally see first blood. Shen getting pretty low. That's a great bandage though from Nofi. And there is the curse of the sad moment. The counter strike, dodging a lot of hits. He stuns Amumu. He gets first blood on Shen.
That was so outplayed. Amazing play from Reagan there. Lighting up the game with the ward jump here.
And now down the bottom, the tower dives. Cacao, they open it up. Down goes Me5. Hermes in trouble as well. And after almost 20 minutes of silence, we get a pretty sweet first blood, and Ryu now is chasing. He wants Hermes.
And they had a 17-minute delay on the stream, Pastry Town. They heard what we were talking about, our sadness, and I think Ezreal's not long for the world.
No.
Picks up another kill, and suddenly, in a blink of an eye, 3-0 to KT. And remember, this is a must-win game for them.
It is, and what a great first blood to kick it off as well. That was the classic all chat outplayed right there for Ragan. That was awesome. So awesome. And the movie there, he had the right idea, but couldn't clinch it in the end there. That counter-strike, so troll.
That, yeah, and that,
just
wow,
everything.
the burst from the Empower, just enough there. I think he would not have overkilled the Shen by very much damage there. And Shen probably just as surprised as anyone that he gave first blood.
Yeah, he actually used Feint earlier in there as well, so he didn't have the shield. If he had that up, he may have survived. I think he needed to use it earlier to not die initially, so... Yeah, that's just... I mean, trading there would have been good news, getting first blood for Ragan. The fact that he also got away is just absurd. Oh, that was
and here comes the dragon. They're snowballing these 3 kills into a dragon. This is oh boy, is Diana getting a little bit caught out here. They will skill the dragon.
No ult from Mumi. There's a nice slow there as he draws him in. Ryu needs to get out. Shen is coming down as well, and they do kite away from the stage. United goes back in. He's going to get picked off here, and Sunship picks up the first kill there for MVP, but Ryu will get the kill there onto Mumi. Now Ragan coming through as well. Has the counter strike, not quite enough range or no leap strike available. Does now leap onto Me5, and they are looking for the kill, but that's a good grasping roots. And it's so hard with that combined snare slow, and all the Zyra players are just perfectly smart casting those plants on top of their ears. It's just such a pain. Not only are you snared, but you get slowed immediately after as well by that plant, and you take damage. I mean, Zyra, if you get onto her, you're going to kill her pretty quickly, but she is slippery. A little bit slippery, this plant lady. Just has a bevy of CC to throw at you. So 4-1 in the end as the dust settles. KT2 still a little bit ahead here, but the gold advantage is actually still less than 1,000 gold.
If you look at this, look at the farm though, it's all just so identical. It's only those kills, and it doesn't feel like that those kills. Maybe the gold hasn't been spent. Maybe they haven't transitioned the advantage they had in the skirmishes towards full item builds. But you're right, it just feels perfectly even.
Yeah, I mean there was a nice little play from KT2. They picked up something, but this game's still very much square at this point.
I do believe Jax has enough gold for his Trinity Force though, and that will be a very big jump in power for the champ.
Yes, and Jax is, I guess, much like Aurelia, gets a lot better when that Trinity Force hits the table. And yeah, there we are. Leap strike away to a minion. I think going to be shopping back for that one. In fact, we tab over. Yeah, does have enough there. So he's going to be getting his Trinity Force, which will make Shen's life here in top lane a little bit harder. As we'll see Diana picking up blue buff there as well. This Amumu though, continuing to deny vision. Has died, but has another Oracle. So a bit more gold down the drain there from Amumu. But if he puts it to good use, it's not too bad. We can see Shirley's and Heart of God finish up for him, so really running this is kind of the thing that we have been seeing actually in, I guess, the Western meta. It's just a lot of support junglers. And this is, the epitome of that right now. Double Oracles, Shirley's Heart of God boots one for Amumu. He's just trying to do all he can for the team, and down the bottom we are seeing a gank here as Jarvan's coming in. Score though a little bit low, and that's a good poly there from Martha. Good slow there as well. We're hearing a little bit of typing there, apologies for that on the stream.
Yeah, if you have a chance to tab over, you might want to see what the admins are saying.
I will. When all the action kind of dies down.
Apologies for this, guys.
That's okay. Always good to talk to admins. I'm sure they have very important information that everybody would like to get. So we'll just follow Ryu for a second. Let me tab over to my Skype. See what's going on. Alright, so, sorry, apologies, a bit of an awkward silence there, but was as Smithy said, conferring with some of our admins. Looks like we have good news for you people.
I almost feel hesitant to say anything out loud, Pastry Time.
I'm not saying anything yet, but it looks like we have good news for you people.
Now we're just trolling them.
We shall see. Nice flash from Amumu. Trying to pick up Ryu here. Whoa, lots of crazy dashes happening there, but Ryu does get caught in Curse of the Sad Mummy. An easy clean up there as Shen puts the taunt through. And Hermes there cleans that up very nicely there on Ezreal. So, again, this game's still fairly even. Nice plays coming out from an MVP. Certainly not just taking it lying down. Not going to let those couple of kills there in that dragon put them anywhere even close to being behind. Still sticking it to KT. They pick up a tower in mid as well. 2 for 2. This game's still back kind of where it started. Dead even. Muffa getting caught. A beautiful taunt there as Hermes gets 1. Will he get 2? No, not quite there. Lulu. Not quite there on Lulu. Not enough CC to follow up there, but they're really just ramping through the jungle right now. And this is a lot of what happens when we take up that mid turret. You've just got so much space in a central area of the map. You can just kind of do what you want. They found a few kills. So catching up now on kills, 4 for 3. Still the lead for KT2. Yeah, just sorting out a little bit of what's going on. As you see, Jackson does have Trinity Force completed. Doran's played a Merc trade for him as well, so not too bad. Again,
interested to see if he continues with the damage items or just transitions into that kind of Aurelia build, the Trinity Force into the Guardian Angel.
Yeah, the stretch, yeah, very, very popular. Muffin out with an Oracle though on Lulu. Has yet to die, so that's a nice pickup there. Taking a little bit of that gold, potential gold income there from the jungler, which is probably nice for Jarvan. He hasn't had too much going on. Looks like he's building towards Aegis though. He's got Merc Treads up as well. But I think it's nice there for Lulu to buy Oracles instead of Jarvan, who with that Brutalizer didn't quite get the ganks he wanted, so a little bit behind in gold potentially. In fact, if we tab over, yeah, quite behind actually, his jungle opponent, 1300 gold or so. So yeah, definitely wanting to catch up a little bit. There's two GP10s that cooking for Amumu, doing a really nice job. Although, to be fair, Amumu is down 800 more gold, so it's actually closer to being even than it looks. Although the Oracles obviously serves a purpose other than, being a money sink. It does have a very, very substantial impact on the game. Back and forth right now. Again, KT just trying to find an opening. Both teams really jockeying for position, in fact. Bloodthirster is up for Graves though, which is good news. Ezreal, on the other hand, Actually, it's Bloodthirster Zeal. So looking nice right now for the AD carries. Fairly equal in CS. Although 2 kills for our Hermes there is quite nice. I think Ezreal's probably got a little bit of a gold lead there. And now Dragon, I think, is going to be the order of the day. We saw the first one go to KT2. We'll see exactly what's happening. Marfa trying to set up in that very nice blind spot there. Don't quite know what she's planning on using. It's not quite like Sona. KT will start the Dragon there. And I think we are going to have a fight here. And Amumu, he up like this. This is potentially a nice spot here for MVP, but it's going to be a lot about initiation here.
Jax is completely split off from his team here.
Oh, that's not good news.
Split engage.
He's coming in the front. No, he's getting poked down though. KT, no, they've got to try and find a way for Jax in. He can leapfrog his way in if he wants, but he needs his gap closure in the team fight. Needs to be able to get to those key targets. I think
it feels like they should just do a stealthy jump to, Lulu at the back of the Dragon Pit, but running out of space here. Maybe he wants to go for an assassination.
And a flash there from you. Smokescreen. Oh, sorry, True Drop right down as well, and the smokescreen from Graves. And looks like Jax, yeah, just trying to find a way in, but there's Zara ult. Looks like Martha's in a lot of trouble. The Wild Growth comes out, and that will secure the killer's curve. The Sad Mummy goes down. Jaxo out the back is jumping on people. There's another kill on Cacao there for no fee. Now Ragan takes out Sunship. Jax doing a lot of damage here. Hermes actually caught right now, and it's 3 for 2 right now. Triple kill there for Amumu though, and it goes 4 for 2 in favor of MVP. In fact, Score, I think, is going to be the last one down here. Does throw the smokescreen over the top, so will live there with a nice flash over the ridge. The MVP just really using Amumu's superior teamfight ability there, and Zyrus as well. They've got great AoE combo. And Jaxo did a lot of damage with that Trinity Force, but it wasn't enough. And now MVP are going to secure themselves a Dragon and the kill lead here in this game.
It was a really close fight. I felt like Jax was split for so long. By the time he grouped, I mean, Lux had been exploded. Sorry, Lulu had been exploded. So I think they should have just bitten the bullet and regrouped, and so they would all be on the same side. Because once you're split, things can become very difficult. The team fights happen in an instant, and if Jax isn't on the priority target or exactly positioned where they need him, it can only count against them. So that they lost out on that team fight. They lost the Dragon, but it could have been worse for KT.
It could have. And again, this game still kind of sits where we've seen it for most of this game. Very even. Less than 1,000 gold still the difference between these teams. So we're going to see fireworks late game. This is one of these times where in this game, people are basically guaranteed to get late game items. So we are going to see, 35, 40 minute team fights here. And you have to say, I think it maybe favors the Amumu. No FP going in, but no wild up yet. It's a few seconds off cooldown. Good taunt there from Shen though, and Hermes in a bit of trouble. The Score throws the buckshot over there, and Reagan does assassinate him. That's a great play there for KT2. And now Shen in a lot of trouble as well. Cacao taking damage. There's the Wild Growth. There's the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Finally back off cooldown. But I don't know if it's enough right now. So many kills as Jack gets a triple kill.
The champ is here.
And now Me5 taking a lot of damage, and they are chasing. They are brutally chasing, in fact. And there's the ace. Score picks it up, selects the last kill. And this could be a Baron right now for KT2. I don't know if they've got enough health left, but I think they're going to try. Oh my goodness, they are low. Score is actually doing the majority of the tanking right now. Do they have the damage? It's close, but I think they do. Remember, a lot of late game here. 30-minute mark, lots of farm up for both these teams. And looks like KT, yes, they are going to have enough. And there's Baron Nashor, so I think we finally found our first real shift of momentum in this game. The lead isn't all that big right now, but it is there for KT2. And with this Baron buff, they've got a whole lot of space, a whole lot of momentum to try and push down some of these structures and get more objectives and really put a foothold in this game and say, we are not going to take this 2-0.
And the first decisive advantage, you have to say, comes at the 28-minute mark. Nobody was denied CS. There is some CS discrepancies, but nothing massive. It's been a very, very close game in every metric, but finally, it feels like KDB have picked up that advantage which they desperately needed. Remember, they are 1-0 down in this best of 3.
Yeah, and it was just a bit of a botched team fight almost. I mean, really, when you look at MVP's team, they just can't afford to fight without Amumu. If Amumu's ult is off, they should not be fighting. I mean, Shen doing a nice job here. He's doing a little bit of split pushing. Does have his Sunfire Cape. Looks like that fade was mainly just to help him duel early, although I think we are going to see a Trinity Force, sorry.
A build that was popularized by Darian, the Sunfire Trinity Force build, and makes you just even better at dueling. Now the champ, who's rapidly coming in to have a word with Shen, is very, very strong. So will he win in duels with the Trinity Force? Probably doubtful that Shen will win, but it definitely forces them to send basically Jax and only Jax to 1v1 him.
And Jax doing a lot of work right now for KT2. He's got GA up as well, so full on Aurelia mode has been engaged. And Ryan looking really nice right now in this Jax. I mean, we talk about late game a little bit there as well. Jax pretty good late game champion. I can't really say that for the rest of KT. Oh my goodness, that bandage. Very close there. Nice steal, I think. I'm not sure, in fact. I don't know if that was stolen. Oh wow, Ryu so aggressive, finds me 5. There's a decent ult from Zara in the choke, but Ragan picks it up. And now a falling 5 to kick things off. Cacao, wild growth in there as well. Curse of the Sad Mummy comes out. Cacao is getting low. Kangui is low as well, but there's the Shen ult. Not enough though. As Diana gets a kill there, and the double for Jax again. 3 for 1 right now, the score in favor of KT2. And there's Maffa getting a kill as well onto a Mumu.
And kind of unorthodox dive buddies, Diana and Jax, but man, they are assassinating people left and right, and this Jax is just massive.
And Lulu's ultimate is doing a lot of nice work in here as well. Whoever does decide to go in, and they've got a lot of gap closers on their team. Wild growth is just happening and causing disruption, giving them extra health, helping them dive. And KT2 have taken a mid game that looked quite even and just absolutely rolled over with it. In fact, I think they're going to get it from here. They may even try and close this game. They're diving in, maybe a bit too deep here on the fountain. Maffa getting a bit low. Ryu goes back in there with a Lunar Rush. And still, oh, trolls Zonyas. But I think it's going to be enough. Nicely timed True Shot barrage there from Hermes. Picks that one up, and KT there. They've got to get out, but they did so much damage with that Baron buff. And as we said, that was the turning point in this game. That was the time where KT said, alright, we got to go. We have to try and make a game of this. And they have now. 7,000 gold, a little bit less there in their advantage right now. 15 to 9 the kills, 5 to 2 in the turrets, and of course that ever important top inhibitor has gone down as well. So pressure on.
If we check the gold, the only real appreciable lead, the one that stands out, the champ is really ahead of Shen.
And Ragan, he's just been doing so much work right now. When we've seen him in teamfight after teamfight, just dishing out damage. You know, the most brutal Aurelia in the world almost. Just really chunking people down, and yeah, that was what I think 11 to 7,500 or something like that. Just an absolutely crazy difference. And when Shen is behind, it's okay, but really Shen looks best when he's ahead.
The thing about Shen being behind is that you can kind of choose multiple people on your team to 1v1 him up top. When Shen is ahead, specifically ahead of your whole team, you get that dilemma of crap. We need to send 2 people to deal with Shen, and we're going to get completely ruined through his global presence. But when he can be happily 1v1, like at this point, Jax will crush Shen. And Graves, he's got the last whip, but he will probably win against Shen. Now Jarvan, probably going to be difficult. Oh wow, as Ezreal gets caught.
Yeah, nice stun there from Jackson. That's going to be a dead Ezreal. Oh, the collateral damage. Ezreal tried to run.
Score is effective. It's a very appropriate name there as he picks him off with the collateral damage.
Score 1. Good Graves. Very nice. And now looks like rush to the middle for KT2. They found something and it's a Jarvan. He cataclysms there onto a Mumu who flashed out. So no flash for no fee right now. And the pressure continues for KT2. Shen is trying to push out the top lane, but KT they're knocking in the middle inhibitor. They want to pick up as much as they can here. That's a little bit of damage there, Ragan. Yeah, going back and forth, leaves striking it up, doesn't even care. And here comes the minion wave. Can they hold it? No, Hermes up for a little while. Ragan goes straight in. Ryu goes in as well. Nice moonfall there. And a beautiful wild growth from Lulu, but there's the Zyra ult. And Mumu coming in as well. He's trying to find score, but the rest of his team's getting ravaged, and he's so out of position. Shen's getting chased down right now. The damage is decent. And Ragan going so deep here with his GA. Counter-strike there to get him out of trouble. He's going to leap strike to a buddy as well. And all in all, what it's meant that KT doing a lot of damage there in the middle. Oh, beautiful bandage there into Cacao. But I don't think that's what he wants. The Mumu needs a bit more. There's the charm. Ryu there picks up Shen. Dragon back in the mix as well with GA, and they slay a Mumu. 2 for 1. And KT a little bit too low to push in here.
Now Ezreal does know Jax back in the rush. Smartly moves away.
Just did not want to use his GA there. Felt like it would have been a waste.
It's such a long downtime that you kind of have to play judiciously with it, because if you lose it, you want to make sure it's worth it. You want to turn a fight, you want to initiate a fight, you want to win the game, but just giving it away is losing a lot of the gold efficiency from that item.
Yeah, GA is kind of a very interesting cooldown. It's almost like a summoner spell that you don't get to choose when you activate, and it's on a very long cooldown. So it's interesting in that respect, but yeah, you definitely need to make good use of your GA. I mean, often the plan with GA is you're going to die at some point. You just have to make sure that when you die and get revived, it is as advantageous as possible for you. And so Jack's wisely not getting himself caught out there. Not wasting his extra life. Wants to keep his green mushroom for another day. Maffa right now does have Zeke's Herald, by the way. Nice aura item there, going to give Graves a much needed boost in stats. Although, to be fair, Graves and Ezreal are fairly comparable in terms of late game damage. So it's not like we've got a Kog'Maw or anything. There is a bit of a difference here though, and the item right now, slightly ahead for Graves, has got QSS, and Ezreal's only got the damage items, although he does have a Trinity Force, which is a difference. It's Bloodthirster Trinity, Last Whisper versus Last Whisper Phantom Dancer, so Ezreal maybe with a bit more damage certainly gets a lot of value out of that Trinity Force, but if he gets jumped on, and we've seen a lot of leaping from Jax, Ezreal's going to have a hard time getting out of that. And looks like KT2 going for the second Baron here. Really want to try and solidify this victory. And the pressure, I mean, you can see MvP are just stuck in their base right now. There's the True Shot Barrage for a bit of vision, but it's not going to be close enough. The Smite will come out, and there it is. Baron Nashor has been secured now for KT2. And they're looking so good to close out this second game.
They're ready for that final push.
And here they come. Jumps onto a plant there from Jax. Quite cute. Kind of funny that Leaf Strike works on both enemies and allies. I think it must suck as a jungler to try and gank Jackson. You know, oh, there's nothing here for him to jump to, and he just jumps to his own mini wave. Like, I forgot he could do that. Jackson can be very slippery. And here we go. There's that mid inhibitor. Not even contested.
They will have to maintain a final stand at one of these inhibitors.
Yep, not even contested. Top inhibitor is back, but that's a lot of super minions coming in. And KT are going to try and keep pushing here, keep pressuring. And even go aggressive as well. Decent wild growth, Curse to the Sad Mummy comes out. But that's again the knockup from the Zara ult comes in, but Jackson GA is down. Probably good timing though. KT they're going pretty deep. There's a kill into Hermes there, that's very key. And right now 2 for 0, Graves gets a double kill there. Muffin now chasing it as well. And there's more inhibitors going down. In fact, diving into the fountain. Ryu though wisely doesn't use up his GA, and Amumu comes back in. Probably only the Dido. There's the poly, and there's a kill from Amumu. And KT2 don't even need more inhibitors. They know that this game is theirs. There's the Nexus Turret, and the Nexus itself will fall. Good game, well played KT2, but that's 1-1 now. And a third